There's a simple formula that tells you exactly what you need to stop working forever. Today, we're breaking down the lowest amount you need possible to comfortably live off of dividends and interest. Hey everybody, I'm Daniel Ronberg, and I'm committed to helping people retire with the abundance mindset. For over a decade, I've helped individuals transition into a fulfilling post-work life free from financial constraint. Now, living off dividends and interest is the dream for most retirement savers. Instead of clocking into your job, your money goes to work for you. But here's the catch. Most people don't know exactly how much capital it really takes to do this. Some think it's impossible unless you're ultra wealthy. The truth is, with some smart saving, the number might be substantially lower than you think. The first step isn't about stocks or bonds or CDs or annuities or yield. It's about you. How much money does it actually take to cover your expenses on a yearly basis? And I mean everything. Housing, food, transportation, entertainment, and even a little cushion to cover emergencies. Let's just use an example and say your annual expenses come out to around $50,000. And that'll be our baseline. But to be safe, let's add a buffer of an additional 10 to 20%. This will be to protect against inflation and unexpected costs. So let's just round it up to $55,000 a year. Next comes your dividend yield or interest rate. And this is as simple as just the percentage rate that you earn on the underlying amount of money you put into the account. For example, if you have a company that's paying a 3% dividend and their stock is valued at $100 a share, the yield is 3%. Sounds pretty straightforward, but here's the key. Safe, reliable, big company stock, CDs, fixed annuities, and things that produce interest rates are generally going to land somewhere between 3 and 5%. Now, could we imagine some companies that have some higher yields? Of course. But typically with higher yields potentially comes higher risk. For example, a company paying 8 or 10% might be doing so because their stock price has fallen. An insurance company or a bank paying you a substantially higher rate than everybody else might be doing so because they're smaller or less accredited than other institutions. Or worse, you could see them slash the dividend or the interest rate when times get tough. So for our calculation in this example, let's just stick with a conservative 4%. So here's the simple formula. You take your annual expenses, divide that by the dividend yield, and that will equal the capital needed to pull this off. So again, going back to our example, if you need $55,000 a year and we're aiming at a 4% yield, $55,000 divided by 0.04 equals $1,375,000. Now that's a ballpark of what you'll need to approximately cover your lifestyle expenses. With a 3% yield, the number is actually a little closer to 1.8 million. And with a 5% yield, the number drops closer to 1.1 million. So really, how the numbers shift depends on the yield or interest rate. Of course, it's not quite that simple. Taxes can reduce your net yield, and inflation can eat into your buying power. And sometimes companies will even cut dividends. This is why it's wise to build in a safety margin. Instead of aiming for the absolute lowest number, think of it in terms of a comfortable range. For many people in these types of yields, that's going to be between $1.5 and $2 million. This is going to provide enough cushion to handle the economy without losing too much sleep. Now here's the encouraging part. Reaching that number is not exclusively for the wealthy. By consistently saving and reinvesting that interest over time, compounding does a lot of the heavy lifting. By staying diversified, make sure you're maintaining low costs and staying patient, over the years your portfolio can grow into a reliable income machine. Now for some of you, saving up $1.5 or $2 million still seems like a daunting task. And if you're much closer to retirement, say within 10 years, you might not have time to be patient. This is why many people turn to income annuities. In our previous example, when we looked at a dividend or an interest rate of 3 to 5%, some income annuities can help you to defer your income and they will pay out as high as 10% of your original principal. This helps make up a lot of ground for income with a lot less money saved. So if you're closer to retirement or you're concerned about how you're able to save up $1 million or $2 million, using a portion of an income annuity might be able to help you bridge that gap. So in conclusion, the lowest number you need to live off of in retirement is not some magic number. It's just tied to your lifestyle, your yield, and your risk tolerance. For some, it may be closer than you think. If you found this helpful, hit the like button, subscribe, and drop a comment down below on what's your target number to hit financial freedom. Hey everyone, if you enjoyed this video and you want more information about retirement, be sure to check out my new book, Buy Back Your Life, How to Stop Worrying About Money and Start Living in Retirement. If you want a copy of this book absolutely for free, call my office with this phone number below. Talk to the girls at the front desk. You don't have to provide any information. We just need your name and address and they'll mail you out your copy today.